There it is, Nicola. Nicola just said, waiting for the wee spy hole to appear. Hello. I love this little feature. Hi, good evening, Nicola. Carol. Who else have we got? I have to look in the wrong place and it doesn't look right. But Sarah Jane Kennedy. Craftaholic. Carol Hill. We've got Linda Lewis over on, and Judith McDowell, is it? Over on YouTube. So remember, wherever you're watching from, please say hello. I'll put that one back on. So just in case people missed it, because I don't know, I think we'll put the little video on again, because I think it's fun. I forgot this one isn't as long, because I didn't make as many samples. There was only me making samples of these. These are fab. It's been so nice to make these samples. I bashed them out because I absolutely love them. Certainly the circles, I think those are absolutely fantastic. Just think these are just, you know, wonderful. I know I'm going to say that. I'm supposed to say that, but I genuinely do. So let's put the right bits on and let's put the link on. That's going that way. That's all working. So as soon as that finishes, I'm just going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Midweek Deals. Let's just switch that one off. Welcome to the Craft Cave here live in Sheffield. Evening, Erica. Yay. Erica from Giggleswick. Oh, still makes me laugh. We're probably 3 years down the line now and it still makes me laugh. Giggleswick, what a brilliant name. We have got some brilliant names of cities and places here in England. So it's really funny. So what are we doing tonight? Tonight is Midweek Deals. So I'm on for 2 hours. You've got me for 2 hours tonight, if you can stand that one. An hour here live on the Art of Craft. And then I've got another hour doing Craft Cave Live, all about the Christmas inserts that we did on Sunday night. Just demonstrations over on John Next Door Official at 7. So if you can join me over there, that would be fabulous. I know as it gets later and later on the year. Ooh, I've had Deborah saying hello from Cyprus. Hello, Cyprus. I haven't been there since I was 21 and I was little. I wasn't that much thinner actually, but I think I was younger. But what was I going to say? I know as it gets closer and closer to Christmas, it gets harder and harder for people to join us because there's so many things, social events, Christmas shopping, so many things to do. But thank you. We really appreciate everybody who joins us. We genuinely do. And that's why we do the deals and why we do the bargains, is to give you some really good deals to get through. Now, some of them tonight are absolutely crazy. One of them is the best deal that we've actually ever done. And I'm going to go and click that one on first. This one, absolutely everybody who is buying tonight should put this in their baskets. 6 die sets for £5 from Nellie Snellen. This is crazy value, and if you go for the circle set at the least, you want to add this in. I actually said to Peter earlier, so I'm going to tell everybody to put this in their basket, because your P&P is £3.50 or £3.49. So if you spend £15 on the main bundle, if you want it posted to you, you will pay £3.49. If you pay £1.51 more and order this, you'll get it free, because it's free postage at £20 or over. So it's really best to do. Oh, I like that. Sarah Jane's come up with a couple. What have we got? Toll Puddle and Aff Puddle. Very good. If you've got any funny town or city names near you, let us know. So this one is a must-have. And basically, you're going to get 5 Nellie Snellen die sets. 6 Nellie Snellen die sets for £5. And I even made sure I phoned and checked to make sure that I hadn't read that wrong when I was checking it out and I was doing the graphics, and it genuinely is. And Peter said, no, it is definitely 6 die sets for £5. So you want to put that one in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move us over, and I'm going to move to the first bundle tonight, which was my favourite, my chosen one, realistically. Oh, I like that one. Nicola says, back in Perth, we have Upper Swan and Inaloo. Oh, I like Inaloo. Upper Swan sounds very posh. These two are brilliant. So these are from Nellie Snellen. I'm sure you probably won't have seen these before. There are older dies. That's why they're less than half price. But here you've got, these are what they call their kaleidoscope dies. So they can sort of go in and out, which is a brilliant idea. But these are wheel, Duh. But I think that's flag. I think that is the British flag. That's why I made a little individual circular card to look like. So just think St. George's Day or Happy Birthday or something is brilliant for that. And then the other one on this one is called the Flower Circle. This is beautiful. Both of them have separate outside lines and they are separate sizes. So they are 4 separate sizes of circle, which will all match together. Good evening, our Samantha. I sent your prize yesterday, so you should get it tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, I sent your prize out to you now that I think you're back at home. So that's been sent. So, but then you also get the detail, which is just gorgeous die on this one. Then you've got 3 circles inside. There's so much in here. There literally is so much in these die sets. Again, different sizes in the other set. So they're not repeating any of the circles. So you've almost got you've almost got 6. But you have got 6 nesting circles in that one. Absolutely brilliant. So I went mad on samples of these. And these are £15. As I said, these are your £15 dies. So you're going to get both of these for that. But if you throw that £5 deal in, so 6 dies for £5, you're going to get 6, 7, 8 dies. So you're going to get 8 dies in total for £20 delivered in the UK for free. So definitely worth it. It's absolutely crazy value. So that's the 2 of the wheel. And I went a bit mad with the flower one. I thought it was just so pretty. So here, this is using the waist. So this looks really 3D. Look, he's flat. This is using the waist from making the other 2. Because I made one where we've used it as a wreath. So using those layers, and again, you can do them again for you, different things. Then this one was paper pieced. So both paper pieced, one going in, one going out. Oh, Kirsty Novell's come up with one topple. Was it? Or tolpuddle. Tolpupple. Never heard. Oh, I like that one. So these are beautiful cards. I'm going to demo this one. I thought it was so nice to do. So that's our first bundle tonight. Our first sort of bargain bundle tonight. And at £15, I thought that was really clever. Really good way to do it. So that's that one. Then next, what have we got next is sets of individuals. I will take you through them individually. So is that one? It is. So that is this star one. So there's 2 star ones. I didn't know if they were going to go together as a bundle or not individually. But this, is that the star? It is the star one. Says John, trying to check. Star circles. Brilliant. Will match in perfectly with those. So again, another one to add on. Oh, Zena, great snoring. I've heard of that. I'm sure I have. So the circle dies from the previous will set in. But again, this one, you've got all these different layers in here. They're just beautiful. That cut in or cut out. And again, that looks as if I've spent hours with inks and things. So, to me, I don't know why, it looks as if it's really, you know, different colours and things. And, of course, I haven't. I've just used the dyes in the set and the cool blues. Really simplistic. So that one is just £4.60, which is crazy. I mean, that is an absolutely stupid price, because I know that will have been like the other circles. Originally, that would have been... In fact, I'm going to check and make sure I'm right on that. And I haven't priced that one wrong, because No, it is £4.60. That's mental. Oh, shouldn't say that, do we? We don't say that one. That's a silly price, that one. Sorry, guys. Oh, Jane Phillips just said hello over on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, I can now see the comments, so please put your comments on. So, great one. Now, then we've got, I'm going to get the rectangle one. The rectangle one, love this one. So, rectangle version of those stars. So, again, but £6.25. Ridiculous price, absolutely ridiculous price. So again, cut in, cut out. It's got this wonderful tag in the middle, which I've used on loads, which has a great dart. This is a really clever idea. So you've got this sort of circled rectangle or round cornered rectangle die, which cuts out beautifully. When you put this die in, which does nothing but cut the circle out, it turns it into a tag. None of the rest of this cuts out. It just fits in exactly. Such a clever way to do just clever way to do the die, to cut that hole in the place, because you can't get it in the wrong place. And then a little tag to go on top. So as I've used it here, perfect tag for your sentiments, and fits a lot of my handy sentiments. And we've had Julie Temperton, Daffy Green, and Sarah Jane Kennedy. There's a town in the US somewhere called Boring. Oh, very good. Love this. Turning it into a square, playing with those colours. Really simple to do. So cutting each die, so twice each for 1, 2, 3, 4 dies, and then the tag in the centre. But a really beautiful classic card, and then start to add some flowers on. These are so clever. So that one on its own is just £6.25. But we have more, and there's more on the website as well. So let's move that. Oh no, I didn't show you this one. This one is using that stars die. No, that stars die, not that one. Look at that going in. Love that. I think that is just such a clever, but again, it's deeper than normal, but it looks so deep, but it's genuinely not. It's just a beautiful thing, but you've got those stars on it, so it'll work so well with the star panels that I've just done. The separate stars we did last week on offer, which completely sold out. And I should say as well, remember on this, guys, all of these, I've already had Penny ring me today asking if I've got a spare of one of last week's dies, which I don't have, so they've missed out. These are limited time offers. We could never buy them back in and wouldn't. So if you miss out, you will miss out. Once they've gone, they have gone. And we have got limited stocks of a lot of these. Certainly, we've been able to put quite a lot of that £5 deals on, but it's really worth go for that. £5 for 6 die sets is crazy. It's cheaper than we've got plans for Black Friday. It really is. So that's that one. Then what have I got next? Ooh. Oh yeah, there's my little board here. So next we have this one, and I think this is it's not that one, it's that one to start with. This is this beautiful little tag. So this is £2.80, and if you want to get the die that goes with it that makes it into a tag, it's only £1.60, and it has a double each to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes to make them into tags. Now I've already prepped this. I'm going to use this in a demo because I'm going to show you this, but look, you can turn this tag or any shape using these into tags. So absolutely any shape you want to, and any size, going from this sort of 10mm down to sort of 2mm. So clever. Really clever way to do it. So that is your beautiful tag. And just to show you here where I've used them on cards as well. Lovely way to turn them into. So, oh brilliant. What's that? Our Samantha's just said she just found out Meggie is in the Spaniel Rock calendar 3 times next year. Oh, brilliant. So love that little tag. And then there is also finally, it's not finally because there are a lot more. There is this set, which I've used here, which is one of their in series. I can never get the word spelled right. £5.10. That beautiful circle set with almost like sort of where you can open them out and fold them, so you can open those little bits out just like that to give you a beautiful 3D. Almost looks like a sunflower, doesn't it, that one? Or you can actually fold all of them out like that, just put little pearls in. Love that, with that centre circle, but just to show you all the way through. Or even here where I cut it 3 times with the little butterflies. Love the colour combination of this, but again, £5.10. So there are so many different bargains available. Excuse me. You really need to have a look through and see, you know, what grabs your interest, because with a free P&P at £20, it's worth throwing a couple in, even if you're using them as Christmas presents. And like I said, go for that deal. Literally go for that deal at 6 die sets for £5. Absolutely crazy. So I'm going to go on to these and I'm going to start demoing now. But one thing I did want to show you first, I promise, is the other things on the website. So let's click over to there. So over on the website, so if you go click the link, it will take you straight there. But if you're wondering, go to the Art of Craft website, click on Facebook Live. Oh, the website's running a little slow. And then go on to today's date, the 12th of November. And there are all the options. So there's that £5 deal. There's that £15 that I'm just about to use. That beautiful stars frame. Then the circle stars. Then you've got the die string set for the tags. You've got the multi-frame dies vintage tag. That beautiful Insere round number 4. Love the tag die. Haven't got that one. Would have loved that one. Then there's a set at £9 for the... I didn't even know they had this one. Booklet square. Like a hexagon square. Brilliant idea. Actually, that would make a really nice idea, wouldn't it? It really... Oh, and it's got the booklet pieces in there. I wonder if that's where Memory Books got their idea from. Then you've got the rounded square, the oval, and the rounded rectangle. Again, all of them less than half price. Going on to the second page, if we can get, there we go. You've got some beautiful stamps and a tag as well that I used last week. Again, all less than half price. The stamps are crazy value. The stamps really are absolutely crazy value, because they should be £17.99. If they were certain companies, they'd be £17.99 each. So I'm going to do some demoing, but I wanted to show you the website and what happens if you click through. Right, whew, that was a lot of talking. Just get myself a drink. A lot of talking in a very short space of time. So this sort of thing, this is perfect for sort of like your paper piecing. Absolutely perfect. And it's an easy one to do when you've got things like... So I've cut myself... I've got 3 here, because I've already used one colour already, of... and get all 4 of the lavender card. And I thought this is a perfect way to do it with a piece of white. I've got some double-sided adhesive, and I have cut a frame using the 7-inch frame makers. So I've cut a frame to frame this together, but I'm going to start with a simple piece. So I've already cut the die, and I'll show you how this cuts in a minute. So I've already cut this, but it's really easy to use, into coconut white. But I think it's a beautiful pattern, because doesn't that look 3D without us even thinking it is? So remember, guys, any questions, just fire them in on Facebook or on YouTube in the comments, and I will try and answer those questions for you. I've lost it for the minute, so let's have a look. Where are we? Where are we? There we go. Let's get onto the right bit. Ah, there we go. I've completely lost it then. So if you haven't got any questions, just ask them. So piece of double-sided adhesive onto the back, nice and simple. And I can show you now how beautifully and easily the die cuts, because I'm going to start with our sherbety colour, because this is what will make us a beautiful twofer. So let's take our die. I'm just going to pop it down. And in the centre of the card, so I've cut this to 5.5 by 5.5 so that I can use it. And I'm just going to run that through and cut that. There we go. Lift off. Love this. All of the pieces pretty much stay in place on the plate. So just there we go. So you can see what a beautiful cut we've got and how we can work on that one in a minute. But then I've got the perfect bits to really easily just paper piece because they're big enough. So just going to drop those in. Now, what you're supposed to do is to make 2 or 3 of these at the same time if you're using different colours, so you don't waste your bits. Unfortunately, because I'm demoing, I'm going to waste my bits because I'm only doing 1, but when I was making them originally, I did make 2 or 3 together. So again, remember guys, any questions, please ask. We've just had Lizzie say hello and Jane Phillips. Oh, I mentioned that one earlier. Comments are very slow on YouTube. So let's have a look. There we go. So I've just put that colour in. Because I've got 4 colours, I can really play with it. So I would leave these bits now and I would put them into another one. But obviously I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to save them and scrape them off my board and go for the next colour down. This is all using the lilacs. So I'll go for the darker shade. Slightly smaller piece because this has come from the middle of the frame. But it doesn't matter for what we're going to do because we're going to do our twofer. So I'm just going to run that through and cut that. There we go. So nice and simple. I'm just going to take this piece here. This is why it works so well with 4 colours, because there's almost 4 levels for this. So you can really get a lot of movement on it without that. Bear with me. Sorry guys, I'm just, for some reason, my comments aren't working at all. So just going to keep dropping those pieces in. There we go. Oops, and one short. Must be in the piece of card. We'll take that one out. Good evening, Debbie, who's just said hello on Facebook. So there we go. Going to pop that to one side and again clear down. But it's almost a case of please try and make 3 or 4 of these at the same time because it really is worth it. So again, on with the die. And I'm using again a piece at 5.5 because I'm going to make a twofer from this. So here we go. It really works on. Jude, can't find you on YouTube. I've not moved. I'm on YouTube and it's working and we've got people watching. Jude, so I don't know why you can't. It is physically there. Remember, it's John Lockwood. It's not John Next Door. It's under John Lockwood on YouTube because the YouTube channel predates the John Next Door name. Crazy, isn't it? So all I'm doing now, I've gone in with the next colour in this lavender set. But you can see how strong it looks on the coconut white. How this looks as if you've die cut it into lots of different levels. And of course we haven't. That's why I love this as a technique on this die. So let's just, I should really have done 2 at the same time. I should have prepped that because I could have cut one out to show you how it cuts beautifully into a wreath. But we go. So change your colours and you'll get something different every time. But I'm not a paper piece person. I know some people find it really mindful and absolutely love it. It's not very me. But I find this one fun because it's not hard. Someone said, oh, they've ordered that. Oh, Sarah Jane said she's ordered the frame die to go with the haberdashery. That's out a week on Sunday, Sarah Jane. Sunday is insert dies for the frame makers. But the haberdashery is out a week on Sunday. And you will love it. Nicholas just said you will love it. It's, yeah, there's different sets, so you choose which one you want. They're not all the same. It's not just one big set. We've done different sets, so you can choose a bundle or to have just the ones that you fancy. There we go. So just going to drop that one in. So I've gone to 3 colours already, but can you see? That looks as if I've been clever with inks, I think, or stenciling. I don't know what it is. It looks so lovely and professional when you get that sort of level of paper piecing for a decent shape. It's one of those, I wish I'd done this one. So then I'm going to take the lightest colour in the lilac. And then I'm just going to, again, cut that into the centre. Oh, Rob's just arrived home. Have you had a good day at work, Rob? Ooh. That's one thing I do love about working from home, when I don't have to go... when I don't, you know, obviously I go out to do shows and I go out to do Hobbycraft. I will be back on Hobbycraft on Monday. But most of the time I'm working from home, so I do get a little bit more freedom. It is lovely. There we go. So, just picking up and putting in now the final pieces. So it's almost like it's in 4 layers, this one. Which is why I think it works with the coordination packs of card we do, because they've got 4 coordinated colours already selected for you. But again, just go through your stash and pick 4 colours that you think would work. So let's just go into this last one. There we go. So I'm just dropping them in. Really simple. 4-in-1 tool makes this so much easier. So dropping them in. Oh, Samantha says she's looking forward to seeing them. She's been sewing. You've been sewing this afternoon. I really do need to do some. I might do some sewing at Christmas when I take a little bit of time off. I won't be taking much time. Won't be taking December off like we've usually done in the past this year. There we go. So won't be taking as much time off this year. But there is our piece. So already that looks to me very, very 3D, but it's completely and totally flat. So what I want to do now is I've got my frame made. So I've used my frame maker, but that looks very plain. So let's go down in the colours that I did originally. So I'm going to take the sherbet and I'm going to take the bigger circle and just cut out the piece we die cut. Yeah. If you give, Nicola said, annoyed, she put in an order earlier and did not know what the little dies were before they are for the tags. It's a brilliant idea, that little die set for the tags. I know it looks at it, unless you know what it is, you wouldn't. But if you give Penny a ring, she'll sort it. She can add it to your order for you. Susan, if you haven't got a 4-in-1 tool, I'd really strongly recommend getting one. She said she must get one. I would recommend getting that one. So I'm going to go to the next colour down, which is this one. And I'm going to cut this out with the next die down in the set. Yeah? Really simple. All of this covered in one. And of course you can do so much more with this. Oh, Linda says, that looks beautiful and giving me an idea of how to use the sticky sheets I bought and didn't know what to do with them. I think we all did that originally. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I broke my very first 4-in-1 tool. And when I went to fix it, I couldn't find the wax. But I've got 2. But I'd love to say, you know, oh, I've only got 2. I don't. I actually have got 4 of these. I have one to go in my kit to go on TV and go to shows. And then I have a spare just in case I break one again. So, yeah, I know I'm bad. But it's me. So, here's my frame. I'm just going to take some foam tape. And put that round. So, I'm going to use a little bit of foam tape here. Nicola's saying she uses hers all the time. Again, I wouldn't be without my 4-in-1. I don't use... I've had other pokey tools in the past, and I always went back to the original woodware one. I've still got it out. This is one I'd had 10, 11 years. I haven't used it since I've had the 4-in-1 tool, but I have always gone back to that woodware tool in the past with every new one I've tried. You know, all the spellbinders with the brush on it, ours with the brush. The brush is perfect. It's the pokey tool that's not. The pokey tool on this is brilliant. It's what sold it to me. If this wasn't a 4-in-1, if this was just a pokey tool, I'd have bought it because it's just perfect. So I'm just going to match that circle up to that frame. Yeah, I'm going to go back in with some more. Right, Dawn, if you break your wax off, what you do is heat it up. It's wax. And you can glue it back in. So you can heat it back up to reattach it. If it's broken out completely, you can just glue it back in, either with some glue glaze or your PVA, or you can actually even use some, what do we call it? Can never get it right. Super glue. So you can, if it's broken off, you can heat it to stick it back on. If it's broken off completely, just glue it back on and it'll work perfectly. Because I did it to mine, and the only reason I didn't do it was because literally, got a bit in there, I lost it. I think I hoovered it up. So I'm just going to go. It's a lovely, comfortable tool in your hand, John, and I have 4 of them too. Yeah, Shirley, it is, isn't it? It is. It's comfortable. That makes so much difference. Every bit of it's been thought about. Yeah, I've got 4, but I wouldn't expect anyone else to have 4 like me. I know I've got a problem. My fear of running out of things and making sure I've got loads is crazy. So, any other questions? Fire them in. That's genuinely what we're here for. So, let's just put another layer of foam tape on. I know I've gone a little bit, but you know, it doesn't hurt. Because what I'm going to show you is a little trick on this. So, I'm just going to then place that in. But look at that. I think that is such a beautiful, attractive card. And you can... I'm going to go into my box of ready-made flowers. So I could add flowers into that if I wanted to, add some leaves on, really take it somewhere else. Nicola says it's a tool she's not lost yet, fingers crossed. Oh yeah, I think we've all done that. Or again, put your flowers on. Really simple and easy to do, but I did say we'd do a bit of a twofer. So I'm going to take that to one side. So of course, what I've got left now are these pieces. So I can play with them, because you don't want to waste them. So, oh, Samantha says it's the only poker tool that doesn't hurt my hand. Do you know, I never thought of that, but a lot of them hurt my hand as well. You're right. Good evening, Margaret. Thank you for joining us. I love it when people join us. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to add a little bit of spray glue onto this one. And then I'm going to just offset it a little bit, so we see the different colours. But then I can do the same with... So if anyone's wondering, I know I've gone through this before, but spray glue I'm using is 3M display mount. It is expensive. I think you have to get it on Amazon, or I've been getting it from Viking Direct recently. We don't sell it. It is very expensive, but it's one of those that's worth it. But I use a drinks tray for the bottom. But what I can do is I can just keep that pattern going with the circle, and then with the last colour on top, and play with it. So you're getting almost like a trick, almost like a trompe-l'oeil. For a complete... So that looks as if it's a lot deeper than it is. That's completely flat. And that one's not. Good evening, our Sheila. But two twofers. 2 cards out of 1. And what I would do on this one is, and this is, you don't have to always have a massive card, certainly not when you've done a frame. So all I'm going to do is peel off now the back of the double-sided adhesive, and I'm going to put a card blank onto that. It doesn't even have to fit. Into size, trim it down, and there I have, it will stand up, and I don't need to have a card, it's just the front I'm bothered about. Yeah, so absolutely love that as a different idea. So that's 2 ideas using the circles, which are, again, just £15. And as I said, if you've just joined us, the bargain of the night, apart from these 2 circles at £15, is this Nellie Snellen set. 6 die sets, all random, so contents may vary. You will get completely random, but you're not going to get 2 of the same. You're going to get 6 separate die sets for just £5. So remember, add that into your basket, and it will, if you add that in with this bundle, it'll take it to £20. And that £20 will be free P&P. So if you want just this on its own, with postage, you're going to pay for this 15, 16, 17, 18.49. So nearly £18.50 for these on their own posted. If you add in that £5 bundle, you're going to pay £1.50 more at £20, and you're going to get it free. So you can have 2 die sets for £18.50 delivered, or you can have 8 die sets for £20 delivered free. So you might as well have 8 die sets. That's what I'm saying to everybody tonight. I'm going to use a couple of others because obviously I've got a lot more to demo and show you, and I wanted to show you those little tags. And which one? I was going to use the stars. So I wanted to use these beautiful stars, and I think this is a brilliant deal. £4.60. So really worth, again, adding into your basket, because you're talking about 5-inch square die set. That's crazy. So what I've done is a similar idea, and I think I've not cut this. I don't think I've cut this deep enough so I can show you. No, I haven't, so I'm going to have to cut some more. So I'm using our I think it's called, let's have a look, what's it called, this one? Winter Browns. So I'm using 1 sheet from each of our coordinations from the Winter Browns set. And brilliant, having card coordinated for you is just a brilliant idea. So you, in the packs, you get 40 sheets, 10 each, of 4 colours that are all tied together. So what I want to do for this is, I've got all this card cut and everything, and I've not done it right. I've not cut it right. So here we go. So I'm going for 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. Absolutely perfect. There we go. And I've got the rest of the pieces here. So I'm going to do a similar idea. These dies are perfect for doing sort of twofers in a way. So I'm going to take the first level and tape the die down. So I'm just going to cut out our very first level just in 1 colour, not in 2, John. So I'm going darkest to light. So there we have our first 2 almost levels. So then I'm going to take the next colour down, put them together, take the next die in the set, and take the next die in the set, because I want this to cut out almost like a frame. So again, take a long piece of tape, tape it down. We'll take that one away, Let's get it in the right place. Let's not spoil the ship for a ha'porth of tar, as the old-fashioned saying goes. So I'm just going to cut those through. So I'm just running those through. And again, remember guys, any questions, just fire them in. So we've got our kind of next level going down. And here we've got our centre level. And now this is where your wedge is for. So if you've ever wondered what the wedge is for on the 4-in-1 tool, this is what it's for. It's for when there's no release hole in this die. So there's nowhere to push through to get it to come out. If I push there, the star comes out. This is what the wedge is for. What you do is the wedge goes underneath, like that. And once it goes underneath, it eases the die out. So once you're in, there we go. Once I've done that, I can then peel the die out. So that's what your wedge tool is designed for. But I love that piece there. So what I want to do now is take the next colour down. I'm going to drop the brown in. And I'm going to take that colour out of the middle of this one. So we've got that beautiful mix of colours again. So that's coming out of this one. Okay. Going down each time, nice and simple. Going down with the next one. Probably should have cleared the white stars out of this one. You can tell when I like a die because it's got bits stuck in it because I've just been using it and using it. So let's just take this one out. And again, let's get my tape off and my wedge in. There we go. There we go. Nice and simple. You can see now how the colours are kind of working together, sort of downwards. So this is, don't forget, this is the waist. We're just being clever in a certain respect with our waist because we're wanting to build it sort of up and out at the same time. So now I can take the smaller squares that I'd already cut, and I'm going to do the same idea again and just keep working down every time. So working down each time. So 8 layers. There we go. So it takes a little bit of cutting. So let's just whack each one through. And one more to go. There we go. Perfect. Now, obviously, you can imagine if I used... Oh, that's great. Andy's bundle from Sunday arrived today and made 2 cards already. Well done, Andy. So if I started to use foam tape for all of these, it's going to be absolutely crazy. Oh, brilliant. Erica, are you back already? You've lost 8.5 pounds. That's amazing. Well done, monkey. So all I'm going to do is just use normal glue. Just on, again, these lower levels. See, perseverance, Erica, always works. There we go. But as I look, I love that. That does look so deep. And of course we're going to keep building these up. So what I'm going to do to start with is I need to take out of here the middle. So I'm going to place my die down against the little dots. There's so much details. There's so much detail on these dies. So one thing that Nellie's very good at, she's a lovely, lovely lady, is adding detail and design elements onto her dies and her stamps and her folders. Such a shame that she's retired now. It really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match that exactly, there we go, to the pattern. Yeah. Then I'm going to foam tape. So I'm just going to, because I know I'm going to need to trim all of this down, I'm going near to the piece there. So remember, this die that makes this is just £4.60. It's really worth throwing into your basket because, again, how deep does that look as an image? And how beautiful is it as an image? And yet, it's completely flat. It's just playing with the colour. So now, there we go. I want that little bit of difference so you can tell that it's fitting in. And then the same thing, I'm going to do the same thing with the star one. And remember, I took the middle out of this one already. So I'm just dropping that one in. Yep, I've skipped a level, which I didn't mean to do. Is that? No, I didn't mean to skip a level, sorry. So thankfully I'd not pressed it down too hard. So let's go on there, that's it. That's it, that's better. Then I've got obviously the level for there, which I can add, or I could skip it and just go for the level, which is what I'm going to do for the brown. And again, I'm just going to spray glue this. So there's only 2 layers of foam tape through it. But this is why they're all called the kaleidoscope range, because as our Susan's just said, it looks like you're looking through a kaleidoscope when you're young. That was the idea. But they're so different. Every pattern's different. So clever. But that is just so complex to me, and yet isn't. So all I'm going to do is just trim off anything that overspills. And you can do this in your guillotine or your paper trimmer if you want to be a little bit neater than me, or if you're not confident with your scissor cutting. But there we go. And then all I'm going to do is A little bit of foam tape on the back. And then before I do that, I'm going to put, and I want to show you how I cut this. So let me grab the pieces. So just take yourself a scrap of your coconut white, and I'm going to take the second die because I want to mat and layer it. So I'm taking the second die, and then I'm taking from the piece the two 10mm pieces. So what I'm going to do is just put these evenly, separately, onto my mat, straight, pick them up with foam tape, with low tack tape, and put them in position. And that's how we turn any shape into a tag, like that. I'm then going to just run that through my die cutting machine, and I can keep them together. So pop that out, so I can keep that again together like that, to use it again and again and again if I want to. But there is the perfect tag. Any shape I want to. I mean, I could again make one of these into, or one of these into that, but we're going to use those in a minute, so I don't want to waste that. So let's just grab, it's a brown card, no black. So VersaFine Vintage Sepia, again available on the Art of Craft page. Probably should have put my holes a little bit further apart, but we'll live. Special wishes sent with love. Take our ribbon and thread it through. Just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of foam tape on the back. Let's get my ribbon straight first, so that it locks it. There we go. Where's my other shape? I've lost it, so we'll cut another one. So just take the largest shape from that vintage tag. So this vintage tag, beautiful and ridiculous price, £2.80. So, you know, it's worth, and it's £1.60 for the little corners that actually cut the ribbon bits. It's really worth doing. There we go. I'm just going to attach that onto there. A little bit more foam tape on the back. And I can put my tag on. Perfectly central. Turn it over. Foam tape open. Attach my ribbon. You want to stick this before you put it onto the card. And I've just made a card blank 7x7, matted and layered with a little bit of white and a little bit of 2 shades of the brown, the darkest 2 shades. And there we go. But it looks, as Susan said, like you're looking at a kaleidoscope, but you're not. You're going almost flat. There's hardly anything in there at all. You'd probably get away with that with just a normal card. But how effective it looks, and yet we've not used even, you know, 4 full sheets of A4 card. We've got so much pieces left. And of course, we've still got pieces left. So you could easily mat these together, start cutting out some other bits. And again, we don't have the stars, but all you do is cut a few more pieces with the stars. And play to make yourself a completely new selection with it. So you can see how much you can achieve with these beautiful kaleidoscope dies from Nellie Snellen. Really genuinely worthwhile and absolutely amazing bargain prices. So you're talking about, first of all, being able to get 6 die sets from Nellie Snellen, any of the early ones, and you're going to be able to get those for just £5. So that is definitely worth throwing into your basket regardless. And again, I don't even know if I got to show you all the samples. I made so many. Just beautiful. So choose which ones you want then. So brilliant bundle at £15 for those circles, which I wouldn't be without. And remember, these are all limited time offers. So when they've gone, they have gone. It's no good ringing Penny 2 days later and going, have you got any of those stars left, like somebody did yesterday? Once they've gone, and we don't have any more. So get hold of those. You've got that beautiful that I've just used there, sort of in Ciré, I think it is, circle with the stars, which is available at just, is it £4.60 that? I can't even read it. Which is an amazing deal, available. And then you've got all of the other deals as well, those vintage tags. You've got the circle with the pop-up bits. You've got so many different things. So please have a look onto the Art of Craft. See the amazing bargains that we've got. If there's something you fancy, pop it in your basket. And remember, add that £5 deal in to make it over £20 to get you your free P&P. And I will see you in 4 minutes' time over on John Next Door, on John Next Door Official for Craft Cave Live. Take care, guys.